What are some of the top trends we are going to see on Etsy in the next year? In today's video, I'm going to give you 6 trends that you can implement in your shop today to have success on Etsy. And these trends are not trends that I found by looking on Etsy. These are actually trends that I found outside of Etsy. Now, why is that so important? It's because Etsy is one of the last places to get trends. So you cannot be relying on Etsy for all of your trend research. This video is going to show 3 of the trends, and then the final 3 trends are going to be linked below. You'll just click on that link and it will take you over to part 2 of the video where you will have instant access to the final 3 trends. And whether you are doing digital, print on demand, handmade, or supplies, you can play in these trends. I don't like wasting time, so let's jump into the first trend: toile and custom toile designs. Now you might be thinking, toile, like what is that? It is a French print of a style of a traditional floral that depicts a scene. But the word toile, it actually means cloth in French. You can see this kind of French-inspired pattern. It is very traditional feeling, but the color makes it more whimsical. This is another kind of French-inspired pattern and print. You can see it is higher contrast. We don't see a lot of black and white typically with a design like that. So you could easily do this with print-on-demand home decor. We see it in furniture as well, and we see it in really all areas of the home, and I also see it in stationery. The key really is not going necessarily with the more traditional colors, but testing out some unique colors. You can see this is kind of an outdoorsy scene. If you look far away, it looks just like a pattern, but when you really look up close, sometimes there's people, there's animals, there's houses, there's different, settings happening here. So we see it in kitchen towels. There's going to be different elements of it. From Pottery Barn, we're really seeing it in bedding. A lot of the times there's a botanical element to it, but the real trend is going to be custom toile. I am seeing custom toile popping up. This hasn't even touched the platform from what I'm seeing. So if you really look at this, we are playing in the cosmic cowgirl look with the pink and the cowboy boots, but then also the cars, the paddleboarding. It is very trendy. This is called the Palm Orleans fabric, which is a blend of Palm Beach and New Orleans. So you can see the different designs happening there. Here is a really fun Harlem toile print, really fun colors. You can see this designer made that print. You can see it on the wallpaper, on the pillows, even on apparel. Think about all the wealthy areas, right? Wealthy cities, destinations, the Bahamas toile, the French Alps toile. Here's a Los Angeles toile print. And here we are with Anthropologie. You can see it on apparel, right? With the print. So even if you're doing apparel, this could be a really great idea to get into. Now the key here is you have to be able to do an all over print on the product. So it's really like doing a full pattern, not just doing a little bit of toile design on a blank sweatshirt. Doesn't quite have the same effect. Here is a toile headband from Urban. So we see it on accessories as well. Lampshades, we definitely see it there. Let me show you how it's showing up on Etsy. We typed in custom toile, and if we scroll down, you can see, okay, there's custom toile design, a pattern. It looks like $395. Wow, talk about margin. Custom toile pattern, wedding illustration, but look at these price points. These are different shops, but look at that amazing price point. So it looks like it's really a service here, but we're not coming up with, full products at this point. It really looks like mostly just in stationery. So I'm really not seeing it. There's custom illustration, venue sketching, and especially the fact that we searched custom, the fact that we're not really seeing that says a lot. The next trend is unique shaped vases. Here's an example from Nordstrom. You can see this is a glass vase, very geometric, not just, a normal hexagon, but this is a very unique take on glass. So if you're into glass work, I think this could be great. Even ceramics. Here's another glass vase example from Nordstrom. You can see even just a normal vase, but adding something to it, adding some faux handles. You can see here, this is a vase that is playing with that cosmic cowgirl trend that we talked about in our last video. And this is a unique type of vase, a wall vase. So that is another thing to think about, is not just a traditional table vase, but maybe where could the vase be displayed? Again, here with a cowboy boot vase, make sure that when you are putting up photos and taking photos for Etsy, that you are showing the vase as a vase. So people really understand the purpose and utility right from the get-go. See, if it was pictured just like this or like that, people wouldn't really understand the value proposition. Now, you don't have to go all out with like bright flowers, because that could be also polarizing or detract from the style and aesthetic of the vase. Like these would not look good in this at all, right? So make sure that the style of the flowers matches the vase itself and make sure there's not too much stem showing. Same with this. So see how when you're doing this, you want to test out different flowers because that has a very different vibe than this, right? Now let's take a look with Etsy. So what I typed in was unique vase. Let's see what we're finding here. This one, bestseller, female body vase. Okay, that definitely is a unique shape. Outside of that, I'm not really seeing any great options. This one is kind of unique. Now, the biggest call out I want to show you here is that you can take something and you can show it in two different ways. One way can make it look very trendy and premium. Another way could make it look super outdated, like it belongs at a garage sale. This is the prime example. Now, this is a bestseller. This is not the best way to show the product. So we're seeing it on a dark kind of gray background. This is just not the right background for this. I actually would recommend different flowers as well. I think even just the baby's breath alone would make it look more modern. So if we compare this to this, right, you know, kind of like the lighter shade of the same color family, which is very on trend right now, and the flowers themselves really pop nicely against that background. The size of the flowers is also much more appropriate in comparison to the vase. And as you can see, like backgrounds and props make a huge difference. So if you are selling vases, or if you want to sell vases, know that the photography and the display is going to be so important. The next trend I'm going to talk about is the bird trend. So here's an example of the peacock family. Now they're putting these prints on items that have purpose and utility. We are seeing some amazing prints with wallpaper right now, and you can see some of the birds are even more subtle, where you really have to look to see it. Again, we're seeing it on bedding, the parrot theme, kind of leafy botanical vibes, plus the birds. So in kitchenware, we definitely are seeing it. Also in candles. So remember, with candles, especially on Etsy, you better have a good vessel, which means what the candle goes in. Better be a unique shape, have a unique design, or some really clever or meaningful writing on it. Now this is interesting because it is kind of like bird inspired, but I don't see an actual bird on here. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to have actual birds all over things, but you can kind of do something that is more like peacock inspired, something like this. On this passport cover and the luggage tag, you can see the birds kind of woven in a subtle way. Same thing here with these dessert plates. And now on here, you can see here's an example of a mug, the bird plus the botanical element. So it is really an all over print. They're not just slapping a bird on a mug and saying it's trendy. Here, if I just search up bird theme, this is what we're finding. Not quite it. Bird nerd. You might think, oh, this is bird like it is trendy. But you guys, the design is not trendy. The mock-up is not trendy. The color is not trendy. Here we are seeing like, okay, bird mugs, not exactly that anthropology mug we saw. The way that the bird trend is trendy is not by using words with it. It's by having the bird incorporated into other graphic elements. I really don't see anyone doing this well. So huge opportunity. I hope you have enjoyed the first 3 trends. If you would like to see the last 3 trends and to learn about how you can become a market leader with the trends on Etsy, definitely click the link below and go to part 2 of the video. The next 3 trends will be right there. And if you liked any of these 3 trends and you want to use one of them in your shop, please leave a comment below and let me know which one you plan on using. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video.
I've gone from about $1,500 to $2,000 in revenue a month to currently, before the month's finished, $4,200 in revenue. I only joined multi-6-figure Etsy Blueprint about 4 weeks ago now,